Hi, everybody. Welcome to Stop Being Sold, a community of informed consumers who are sick and tired of being sold financial products they don't understand or need. So if you're tired of being a transaction, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and also like the content of this video. Helps us grow the channel and also lets us know that you are liking the content we put out. How are you today, Brian?
Hey, Michelle, I'm doing great, young lady. How you doing?
Well, honestly, been a little better. Today, we're going to be talking about, let me put it this way. There's a lot going on geopolitically, and there's a lot going on in the markets, and there's a lot of fear happening globally, and we're really in a headline-driven market. So today, we're going to be talking about war and your investments and what you need to
do. Great topic, Michelle. Multiple phone calls coming in the past week about what to do. Should I stand pat? What's going on? How's this going to
get out of the
affect
market?
this? Yeah, do I get out? Do I run and hide now? What do I do? So I'm glad you brought this up. This is going to be a great topic for us today. So
yeah, and I think I would like to at some point, I'd like to talk, we'll dive in a minute, but I really would love if you have any historical, context or examples of conflicts or geopolitical issues that have driven down markets and like what happened. That would be really great.
Oh yeah, we can do that.
We can learn so much from the past. It obviously doesn't mean that's what's going to happen now. It's in 2022. I don't even know what's going on at this point.
No, and it's funny. History does repeat itself. So so we can go back and look at times in history. I got some stats that we'll go over today too. So.
All right, so I'm going to kick it off. We've got what I mentioned, that we are in this headline-driven market. We've got obviously Russia, Ukraine war, this invasion. We've got inflation. We've got a big fat problem with fuel. Gas pump, right? Fuel. Gas prices are rising, and then we also have the Federal Reserve and the potential of them raising interest rates this next meeting, which is in a few days, right?
Yeah. It's funny, Michelle. Just go back and let me highlight what you just said. We're talking about the headlines are Russia, Ukraine,
right,
war, invasion, inflation, rising gas prices, the Federal Reserve, and interest rates. Guess what? You would think that this market would be 40% lower.
Right.
Just on what you just said right there. But it isn't. And this economy is still booming today, which is a great thing. So push back from this fear of what's being thrown at you on a daily basis and just sit back and calm. I'm wearing a shirt today just for this. It's a nice, bright, sunny shirt. The sun will come up tomorrow. So
there you go. Well, I do think, I just want to say this, I get what you're saying, but people rightfully so are concerned.
Yes.
Nobody wants to be wiped out. And especially some of our viewers who, we've run the gambit on age here, but those who are closer to retirement, it's
at or near retirement.
Yep. If you're 20 and 30, you're like, whatever, I can do this later.
I'm dollar cost averaging in. I'm not going to worry about it. But if you're 5 to 7 years away from retirement or in retirement even, you are concerned. So
So let's talk a little bit about history.
Yeah, let's go through some of the history, Michelle, and maybe this will set the mind. Okay, so those of you that were at retirement age or near retirement age, you'll remember some of this. Okay, so think about the North Korea missile crisis, that was only a few years back, right?
Yeah.
And we'll use the S&P 500
but has it actually gone away? I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, no. Matter of fact, this morning was the first time I've heard that for quite some time.
Last week he was at it.
I thought it was gone. Anyway. So that was 2017 that we're talking about right here. So
if you're watching this, pardon the humor, but I'm trying to find humor in everything possible these days.
Yeah, you have to. You have to smile.
All right. So North Korean missile crisis. Take it back.
So let's look at the history. So the history, I'm going to give you a couple different events, Michelle, and we'll use the S&P 500. We'll look at the drawdown of the S&P 500 in the amount of days that it took from the start till it hit the bottom, and then how long for it to recover back up to where it was.
Got it. Okay.
So the S&P 500 during the North Korea missile crisis, Michelle, it only drew down 1.5%. Heck, we move that daily now with
Right.
everything that's been going on since the first of the year, right? But it took 14 days when that started in 2017 to hit the bottom, and then 36 days to recover. So we're only talking a little over a month till that recovered, okay? Now let's go back to 9/11. Everyone remembers that. S&P 500 drawdown was 11.6%. Took 11 days to get to the bottom. That was a massive move to the downside, right? Okay. Days to recover, 31 days.
Wow.
Let's go back to some longer ones in history. The Iraq invasion of Kuwait.
Yep.
I remember that.
What was that,
6.9% drawdown.
Yeah.
71 days to the bottom, 189 days to recover. So 6 months to recover. Then we go back. Some of you that are at retirement age today or very near retirement will remember Pearl Harbor. 19.8% drawdown on the S&P 500, 143 days to the bottom, 307 days to recover. So we're talking 11 months, 10 and a half, 11 months to recover.
Well, and also remember what happened after that. We went into, there's World War.
Yeah,
a little bit
exactly.
different than the others. I mean, although 9/11 did produce things.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then, but over time history, the average, Michelle, average drawdown is about 5% on the S&P. Days to the bottom, average about 22 days. Days to recover, around 47 days by using multiple different events like this in history.
Wow.
So we're only in day 8 as of today. One day we're up 500 in the Dow. The next day we're down 500. It was up at 700 yesterday. I'm looking at it right now, down about 130, and it was positive today already. So back and forth, back and forth. Expect that. That will continue.
What advice do you have for people then with just this volatility? Like,
use volatility to your advantage. And what do I mean by that? So, yes, I am an advisor, but I also have my own portfolio.
Sure.
So I'm an investor. I've got years till I get to retirement, multiple years till I get to retirement. So on days that I see the NASDAQ down 300 points, I'm stepping in and buying a little bit.
Right.
On days that I see substantial up in the market, if there's something I've been trying to get rid of and that I wasn't real happy with, and it was a positive day, and I said, you know what, I feel good about finally getting rid of that, where something broke even, I do that. It's that simple. But use that volatility to your benefit, sure. But also just relax. If Michelle, let me ask you this. Yeah. If the average downturn in the S&P 500 is 5%,
right,
and it took 22 days to get to the bottom, we're on day 8, and it takes 47 days to recover, a month and a half, is your life going to change between now and May 1st, which is basically the 47 days?
Before 2022, no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
No, but probably not, right? If we're looking at this historical average.
Yeah, and if you've got a long-term horizon towards your retirement, even if you're in retirement, there's some things here that, balance things out. Don't take your RMDs during this time. Wait till a more a level and off period as we get near the end of the year and maybe phase out of this. Right. Don't sell near the bottom. So
really what you're telling people is just be calm, have patience, and really avoid, which is the purpose of this video. The more educated we are, the more we understand,
right?
Not necessarily what's going on, but like, looking at the past. Yes. Past is not, what happened before may not happen again, right? Or may not happen this time.
But we can use it as an example.
Exactly. But it helps us like regulate that emotion. The sky is not falling, probably.
No, we're good.
Humanity is very resilient. We pick back up and we keep going, right? So let's get off the Ukraine, the Russian-Ukraine conflict, and let's talk about the other two main headlines. Let's talk about inflation and this petroleum problem, the fuel, the rising gas prices,
right,
and Let's just discuss that.
Well, think about this. Look, if we sanction Russian oil, okay, I forget what they say, 14.5 million barrels a day is roughly what the U.S. gets.
Right.
No one else has done this yet. It may come, it may not. But what happens in that time frame, Michelle, is that oil will come off the daily market, which in turn leads to higher prices, right? Because you can't just start producing that many barrels of oil a day.
Right.
So, and the stock market is always a front runner of where we're going, right? And if you see this, that's some of the first thing that all the energy stocks have been climbing for the past couple weeks now, right? Because of stuff like that. Oil, WTI was 116 on the barrel today, and it pulled back. But as we get closer to peace talks, you may see them start to sell that oil because of the fact that, okay, we're going to be okay, and they'll get out of it. When you start to watch that, then you're starting to calm it back down a little bit. But the market's already predicted this. The rally, it's already rallied up. Remember what I said earlier, Michelle, one thing that I do during the volatility of this is if there's something I was looking to get rid of and it had appreciated in value during this, I'm thinking, thank you. I was able to sell that and pull back from it because we haven't seen oil prices like this in quite some time.
Long time. Yeah. Right. All right. Well,
and
let's talk.
Any positive results, just a second, Michelle, any positive results on the peace talks could have this industry sell on the news of peace talks. So
Got it. Okay. All right. Well, what about the, let's talk interest rates and the good old Federal Reserve.
Oh, you know, it's funny, Michelle, this is different here because I had already thought that the market had over predicted what the Fed was going to do. You heard 9 rate hikes this year, 11 rate hikes, just ridiculous numbers. Yes, our economy is booming. Yes, there is inflation. We understand that, but not to the point of raising interest rates to where you drop us down into a recession. Well, when Ukraine and Russia came on board here a couple weeks ago, I'm thinking to myself, well, will this be a deterrent of the Fed raising interest rates faster? And it's funny, yesterday the Fed announced that they'd only raised rates by 25 basis points at the March meeting. Guess what? That was a pre-notice.
Right.
We don't see pre-notices from the Fed, so they truly understand how important this is to the market, and tried to calm it back down that we're not going to go overboard and collapse this market.
Right. They're not going to be super hawkish, which is what I mean, you just mentioned those headlines. People are like, wow, they're going to get aggressive here.
Right. And soon as that was announced, Michelle, we was up, I forget what the numbers were. You got 7.
That was March. That was, yes. So it was yesterday, March 2nd.
Yeah.
That was
like 700 points yesterday in the Dow. So it was a straight uptick from there. And, you know, they know that the Russian invasion could tamper the rising of interest rates if things get worse. Well, guess what? Now you've got, look, the smarter people behind the scenes, smarter than me, definitely, are saying, look, we're going to watch and see what happens.
Right.
Just like we talked about at the beginning. They're going to be patient. They're going to watch and see what happens and then react upon that, what's going on. So don't make rash decisions during this time frame. And we see people making emotional decisions, and Michelle, usually them end up being the wrong decisions. So
absolutely. Most of the time they are.
Yes.
You know, the one piece of advice I was given years ago is if you're feeling that, it was actually from the Dalai Lama. I didn't talk to him personally, but I was at a speech and he's like, when in doubt, do nothing. Like if you're going and stop and don't take action. Sleep on it, think about it, take a walk, do a hike, I don't know, swim, jump up and down.
Enjoy your family.
Or there's that. There's that too. And turn off some of the, some of the news.
Turn the news off. Yeah. That's my best piece of advice, because
it social
drive you nuts. You could flip from channel to channel to channel, which is what we do sometimes, just to hear different versions of what's going on. And it's like, which one do I believe? And as an advisor, Michelle, no, we have to be calm, remove the emotion out of it, and look at history, what history has done during this time frame. And if there's an opportunity for us to step in, we're going to step in and either buy or sell based on where we believe that the market will continue to go.
Sure. Absolutely. All right. This has been a great conversation. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I think the key is that historical data and not just looking at each conflict, but also looking at that average. And when you look at that, it's not so bad.
So true. So true.
So, all right. Well, if you like the content of this video, give us that thumbs up sign, hit that like button. We'd appreciate it. If you have questions, we love questions. We get a lot of them on our on videos. So pop them down below and we'll answer you, or maybe even to make a video on your questions. So
definitely.
Thank you everybody for watching. Have a good one.
Michelle. Thanks everyone. Have a great day.